Welcome back to my channel, The Coins World. Today we are diving into the fascinating story of the Philippine 25 centimo coin issued in 2015. At first glance, it may appear like an ordinary modern coin, one you've probably seen many times in circulation. But behind its design and history lies a deep connection to the nation's evolving economy, culture, and heritage. By the time we reach the end of this journey, you will realize just how meaningful even the smallest coin in your pocket can be. The 25 centimo coin of 2015 belongs to the new generation currency coin series released by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This series was introduced to modernize Philippine coinage, improve security features, and ensure that coins were more durable and practical for daily use. The 2015 issue was one of the early years where Filipinos began to notice the new look of their coins. Unlike older series that carried images of national heroes, the new generation coins focused on natural and environmental themes. On the obverse of the 2015 25 centimo coin, you'll find the stylized Philippine flag elements and the denomination reflecting a cleaner, more minimalist design. The reverse features the stylized Philippine palm tree, a nod to the country's rich natural resources. This shift in design philosophy marked a major turning point in Philippine numismatic history. For decades, coins were adorned with portraits of presidents and historical figures, but the 2015 centimo coin symbolized a step towards modernization and national identity through symbols of unity and nature. The coin is made from nickel-plated steel, giving it a silver-like appearance. This change in composition was intentional. Older coins used more expensive metals such as copper or brass, but modern needs pushed the government to adopt cheaper yet durable alternatives, reducing minting costs while ensuring longer circulation life. The diameter of the 25 centimo coin is modest, making it easy to handle. While it may seem small in purchasing power, its importance lies in rounding off transactions, preventing inflationary pressures, and serving as a vital part of the monetary system. Even in 2015, when inflation had already lessened its buying strength, the 25 centimo coin was essential in small-scale retail. The history of this coin also reflects the broader economic shifts of the Philippines. By 2015, the Philippine economy was experiencing growth, and modernization of its financial systems was crucial. Introducing the new coin series was part of this progress, aligning the currency with the country's global image as an emerging market. Collectors often view the 2015 centimo coin as an interesting piece because it marks the transition era. It represents the point where old coins were gradually being phased out and new, sleeker coins took their place in circulation. The design choice of using plants and symbols rather than human figures also connects with a deeper philosophy of national pride. Today, we are going to dive deep into the incredible history of the Philippine 1 peso coin from 1974. This coin is more than just a piece of metal used for transactions. It is a storyteller of a country's resilience, culture, and transformation. By the end of this journey, you'll see why this coin remains fascinating for collectors and historians alike. The 1 peso coin of 1974 belongs to the ng Bagong Lipunan series, a significant chapter in Philippine numismatic history. This series was issued during the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos and was part of his campaign to symbolize a new society, or Bagong Lipunan, which he envisioned as a reformed Philippine nation. The obverse of the coin proudly features the portrait of Jose Rizal, the country's national hero. Rizal's enduring legacy as a reformist, writer, and martyr made him the perfect figure to grace the coin. His image here reflects patriotism, intellect, and the undying fight for independence. On the reverse, the coin bears the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines along with the inscription ng Bagong Lipunan. This was not just a decorative phrase but a political statement, reinforcing the ideals of a restructured society under Marcos' rule. The 1 peso coin was struck in copper nickel, which gave it durability and a bright silvery appearance. At a time when the Philippines was modernizing its coinage, this metal choice balanced both cost, efficiency, and resilience in circulation. The year 1974 was a turbulent but defining era in Philippine history. The country was under martial law, declared in 1972. Coins such as this one symbolized both continuity and change. They were part of everyday life but also carried political undertones. The large size of the coin, compared to smaller denominations, made it a prominent piece in the pockets of Filipinos Holding a 1 peso coin was more than just holding money. It was holding a symbol of national identity and state ideology. Jose Acute Rizal's portrait was not a random choice. He had long been a unifying figure across political lines. His inclusion on the coin emphasized education, national consciousness, and sacrifice values the government wanted to highlight. From an economic perspective, the 197 for 1 peso coin reflects the challenges of inflation. By the 1970s, the Philippine economy was facing strains, and yet, the peso remained the standard bearer of daily transactions. The Bagong Lipunan inscription itself has sparked debates among historians and collectors. Some see it as propaganda, while others view it as an important reminder of a unique period in the nation's story. The design of the coin is bold yet simple. Its clear inscriptions, large denomination, and symbolic imagery made it instantly recognizable, something crucial in a society with a wide socioeconomic spectrum. Today we will take a deep dive into the fascinating history of the Philippine 1 peso coin issued in 1977. This coin is more than just a simple piece of metal used in daily transactions. It is a reflection of the nation's journey through political change, economic development, and cultural pride. By the end of this long history, you'll see why the 1977 peso holds a unique place in Philippine numismatic history and why it continues to capture the interest of collectors and historians alike. The 1977 1 peso coin belongs to the Angi Bagong Lipunan series, which was introduced in 1975 under the leadership of President Ferdinand Marcos. This series was launched as part of the New Society movement, or Bagong Lipunan, which Marcos envisioned as a political and cultural restructuring of the Philippines. The coins themselves became tools of this vision, with their inscriptions serving as symbols of reform and unity. The obverse side of the 1977 peso proudly bears the portrait of Apolinario Mabini, one of the greatest heroes of the Philippines. Known as the brains of the revolution, Mabini was a revolutionary thinker and served as the first prime minister of the country. His presence on the coin was deliberate. It reminded Filipinos of the importance of intellect, strategy, and sacrifice in shaping the nation's future. Surrounding Mabini's portrait is the inscription, Republica ng Pilipinas, signifying the sovereignty of the Filipino nation. The placement of this text reinforced the idea that the country's identity and independence were at the center of its economic and political transformation. On the reverse side of the coin we see the national coat of arms of the Philippines, which features the sun, 3 stars, the eagle of the United States, and the lion of Spain. This emblem connects the Philippines' colonial past with its independent present, telling the story of a nation that endured centuries of influence and yet emerged with its own proud identity. One of the most notable elements on the reverse is the inscription Angi Bagong Lipunan, which translates to the New Society. This phrase was heavily used during the martial law era, symbolizing Marcos' vision of a disciplined, orderly, and progressive nation. By stamping it on the coins, the government ensured that every Filipino who used money was constantly reminded of this movement. The coin itself was minted in copper nickel, a durable and practical alloy widely used in many currencies around the world. Measuring 27 millimeters in diameter, the 1977 peso had a substantial weight in hand, giving it a feeling of value and importance. It stood out as the highest denomination coin in circulation during its time, making it both practical for larger transactions and symbolic of the nation's economic ambitions. By 1977, the Philippine economy was undergoing significant changes. The government sought to modernize industries, build infrastructure, and project the image. We explore the fascinating history of the Philippine 25 centimo coin from the year 2002. At first glance, it looks like just a small piece of metal, but behind this coin lies a powerful story of culture, economics, and the continuous transformation of the Philippines through the years. In fact, this tiny coin is a witness to a period when the country was undergoing financial challenges and political changes, yet still striving to highlight national identity through its currency. The 25 centimo coin of 2002 belongs to the Improved Flora and Fauna series, which was first introduced in 1995. This series was part of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas effort to redesign the nation's coins to emphasize Philippine natural resources, national symbols, and identity. Unlike earlier coins that often showcased national heroes, This series combined history with the rich biodiversity of the country, giving every Filipino a reminder of their heritage and environment each time they held these coins. On the obverse side of the 25 centimo, 2002 coin, you'll find the stylized Philippine coat of arms, symbolizing unity, sovereignty, and national pride. The coat of arms itself is loaded with meaning, the sun and stars representing liberty and independence, the eagle symbolizing ties to the United States, and the lion symbolizing historical ties to Spain. By placing this emblem on the coin, the government reminded every Filipino of their hard-fought independence and their place in the global community. The reverse side of the coin is what makes it truly special. It features the capel Beijing, also known as the Bohenia monandra, a flowering plant native to the Philippines. This plant, with its striking orchid-like appearance, was chosen to represent the country's rich flora. By including this design, the 25 centimo coin did not just serve as money, it became a tool of education, making Filipinos more aware of the beauty and diversity of their own environment. The year 2002 is significant because it came during a time of economic transition. The Philippines was experiencing challenges with inflation and rising prices, yet coins like the 25 centimo remained in everyday circulation. While its face value might have seemed small, it was still important for daily transactions, buying candies, small snacks, or adding up change for transport fares. For collectors, the 2002 issue stands out because it was struck during a period when the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas was gradually adjusting its coin designs to prepare for future series. Many of these coins saw heavy use in circulation, which means that finding well-preserved, uncirculated pieces today is less common and therefore more desirable. Another interesting aspect is how the coin reflects Filipino culture and values. By highlighting plants and animals alongside national symbols, the improved flora and fauna series served as a reminder that the nation's wealth is not only today. We are going to explore the remarkable history of the Philippine 20 centimo coin from the year 1994. At first glance, it may look like a small and simple piece of everyday change, but when you start to uncover its story, you'll see that this coin represents so much more. It tells us about the evolution of Philippine money, the nation's cultural pride, and the practical challenges of producing coins that reflect both tradition and progress. Get ready, because the journey of this coin is full of fascinating twists that will keep you hooked until the very end. The 1994 20 centimo coin was part of the Flora and Fauna series, one of the most iconic coin series in Philippine history. This series was introduced in 1983 under the authority of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP), which at that time was still operating as the Central Bank of the Philippines. Unlike earlier coins that prominently featured national heroes, this series emphasized native animals and plants of the Philippines, aiming to promote appreciation of the country's rich biodiversity. On the obverse of the 1994 20 centimo coin, you will find the national coat of arms of the Philippines, proudly displayed along with the inscription, Republica ng Pilipinas. This symbolizes national unity and the sovereignty of the Filipino people. The year 1994 is also inscribed, reminding us of the time when this particular piece of history was struck. The reverse side of the coin is where it truly stands out. Instead of a political figure, it depicts the Carabao mango, known scientifically as Mangifera indica. The mango is one of the Philippines' most treasured fruits, famous worldwide for its unique sweetness. By placing this fruit on the coin, the government sought to celebrate not only a symbol of agricultural abundance but also cultural icon that Filipinos proudly associate with their heritage. The decision to showcase flora and fauna instead of heroes was a bold move at the time. Some people welcomed it as a refreshing change, highlighting the beauty of nature and the environment. Others criticized it for straying away from historical figures who had shaped the country's independence and identity. Yet, over time, the series grew popular because it gave everyday coins a fresh and educational identity. From a technical standpoint, the 1994 20 centimo was made of brass, giving it a golden appearance that was distinct from the lower denominations. Its diameter was small, making it convenient to carry but also easy to overlook in everyday use. Yet its color and design gave it a charm that stood out among circulating coins of the time. In 1994, the Philippine economy was undergoing transitions, with modernization and global trade slowly reshaping industries. Coins like the 20 centimo were essential for daily transactions especially in local markets and public transportation. Though its purchasing power was modest, the coin ensured accuracy. Fascinating stories behind coins that many people overlook. Today, we are diving into the 1988 Philippine 10 centimo coin, a piece that might seem small in value but carries a rich history, deep symbolism, and connections to the country's evolving culture and economy. The 10 centimo coin is part of the Filipino currency system, where the peso is divided into 100 centavos or centimo. Even though the value of 10 centimo may not seem significant today, these coins have played a crucial role in everyday transactions, especially during a time when prices were much lower than they are now. The 1988 issue of the 10 centimo came at an interesting period in Philippine history. Just 2 years earlier, in 1986, the country had experienced the historic People Power Revolution, which brought down the regime of Ferdinand Marcos and restored democracy under President Corazon Aquino. The coin was minted during Aquino's presidency, a time when the country was reshaping its national identity. At the front of the 1988 10 centimo coin, you will find the portrait of Francisco Baltasar, also known as Francisco Balagtas, one of the greatest Filipino literary figures. He is celebrated as the Prince of Tagalog poets and the author of the epic Florandi at Laura, a masterpiece that reflects Filipino values, struggles, and aspirations. His presence on the coin connects literature and history with everyday life. The reverse side of the coin features the official seal of the Central Bank of the Philippines, known as Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This emphasizes the authority of the institution responsible for monetary stability, reminding Filipinos of the importance of trust and control in the nation's financial system. The coin was made of copper nickel, giving it durability and a silvery appearance. Measuring 17 millimeters in diameter, it was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use. It may have been used to pay for jeepney fares, candies in sari-sari stores, or small household items, making it a part of everyday Filipino life in the late 1980s. Looking deeper into history, the 10 centimo coin represents the evolution of Philippine currency after independence. Earlier coins carried heavy Spanish and American influences, but by the time of the 1988 coin, the Philippines was proudly featuring its own national heroes, writers, and leaders. This was a powerful shift in asserting national identity. The presence of Balagtas on the coin also highlights the importance of language and culture at a time when globalization was influencing the country. Placing a Filipino writer on currency was a reminder of heritage, creativity, and resilience. The late 1980s were also a period of economic adjustment for the Philippines. After years of political turmoil, the Aquino government was working hard to stabilize the peso, control inflation, and encourage foreign investments. Small coins. Today, we take a deep dive into the Philippine 25 centimo coin from 1971, a small yet powerful artifact that tells the story of a nation in transition. Many people may see it as just a simple piece of change, but this coin carries layers of history, artistry, and national identity that make it a fascinating part of Philippine numismatics. The 25 centimo 1971 coin belongs to the Filipino series, which was introduced in 1967. This was the first full series of coins to bear Filipino inscriptions rather than English, marking a strong declaration of cultural independence and identity. By the time the 25 centimo of 1971 entered circulation, it had already become a symbol of pride for the country. On its obverse side, the coin proudly displays the portrait of Juan Luna, one of the greatest Filipino painters, intellectuals, and revolutionaries. His face on the coin is not just a reminder of his artistic achievements but also his dedication to the cause of nationalism. Luna's spoliarium, which won a gold medal in Madrid, became a metaphor for the Filipino struggle under colonial rule. The reverse side of the 25 centimo 1971 bears the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. It includes the sun, stars, eagle, and lion, representing both local identity and historical influences from Spain and the United States. This design balanced heritage with sovereignty, reminding citizens of the Philippines' resilience as a free republic. Struck in nickel brass, the coin's composition was meant to give durability, allowing it to withstand decades of circulation. Its golden tone stood out among smaller denominations, giving it a distinct visual presence in the hands of everyday Filipinos. When the 25 centimo 1971 was released, it carried a reasonable purchasing power. During that period, It could buy small snacks, candies, or part of public transportation fares, though it seems minor today. At the time it was a vital coin in daily transactions. The early 1970s in the Philippines were marked by political and economic shifts. President Ferdinand Marcos had already declared his vision for a new society, and by 1972, martial law would reshape the country. The 1971 25 centimo, therefore, represents the calm before a storm, a coin minted at the edge of a critical turning point in history. For older Filipinos, it brings nostalgia of a time when a few centimo coins could still purchase meaningful goods. For younger generations, it offers a glimpse into the economic realities of the past. In classrooms today, this coin is often used as a historical teaching tool, reminding students of how money reflects national stories. Its presence bridges generations and fosters an appreciation of heritage. The coin's artistry also deserves admiration. Luna's portrait is not merely functional, it is expressive, dignified, and timeless. This makes the 25 centimo 1971 as much a miniature artwork as it is currency. World. Today we will dive deep into the fascinating story of the Philippine 5 peso coin issued in 2014. At first glance, this coin might look like just another piece of everyday currency, but behind its design and circulation lies an incredible history tied to the nation's culture, economy, and heritage. The 5 peso denomination has always been one of the more eye-catching coins in Philippine currency because of its larger size and the important figures featured on it. The 2014 issue continues this tradition, capturing the attention of both everyday users and coin collectors worldwide. To understand the 2014 coin, we must trace back the history of the Philippine currency system. The modern peso was introduced after the country moved away from the old peso, fuerte, and later Spanish-influenced monetary systems, evolving into the currency we recognize today. The Banco Central ng Pilipinas (BSP), established in 1993, played a crucial role in redesigning and securing the nation's coins. By 2014, the BSP had already been modernizing coins to make them more secure, durable, and symbolic of the country's history. The 5 peso 2014 coin belongs to the new generation currency coin series, a line of coins designed to feature notable Filipino heroes while also reflecting national pride. This series aimed not just to circulate money, but to educate citizens about the nation's heritage. On the obverse of the 2014 coin we see the image of Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines and one of the most iconic figures in the country's fight for independence. His placement on the 5 peso coin elevates the denomination's prestige, connecting the coin directly with the spirit of freedom. Emilio Aguinaldo's presence on the coin is not just symbolic but a reminder of the sacrifices made during the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule. This makes the 5 peso 2014 more than just currency. It becomes a piece of historical storytelling in metal form. The reverse of the coin showcases the logo of the Banco Central ng Pilipinas, reinforcing the identity of the issuing authority. Alongside it, inscriptions highlight the year of minting, 2014, making it instantly recognizable for collectors and historians alike. Composition matters as much as design. The 5 peso 2014 coin is nickel-plated steel, giving it both a silvery appearance and strong durability. This material was chosen to withstand years of circulation while also lowering production costs compared to precious metals. Its size and weight also set it apart. Larger than most other coins in circulation, the 5 peso naturally stands out in a pocket or wallet. This makes it not only practical for everyday transactions but also memorable for collectors. In 2014, the Philippine economy was stable and growing, and coins like the 5 peso circulated widely in markets, jeepney fares, and sari-sari stores. In world. Today we are diving into the fascinating history of one of the smallest, yet historically rich coins in Philippine currency, the 10 centimo coin from 1970. Don't underestimate its size, because behind this little coin lies a story of heritage, culture, politics, and national identity. The 1970s marked a significant decade for the Philippines. Under President Ferdinand Marcos, the country was undergoing massive political and economic changes. Coins minted during this era reflect not just monetary value but also the national narrative that was being carefully shaped. The 10 centimo 1970 is a perfect example of this. The coin itself belongs to the Filipino series, which was introduced in 1967. This series replaced the English series that had been circulating since the 1950s. The switch from English inscriptions to the Filipino language symbolized a growing sense of national pride and independence. On the obverse of the 1970 10 centimo, we see the figure of Apolinario Mabini, one of the most revered heroes of the Philippines, known as the brains of the revolution. Mabini's inclusion on the coin highlighted his role in shaping the country's fight for independence. His image was chosen to inspire patriotism and remind Filipinos of their revolutionary roots. The reverse of the coin featured the official seal of the Republic of the Philippines. This seal embodied sovereignty, unity, and governance, important themes in the years leading up to the declaration of martial law in 1972. The coin, therefore, was not just money, but also a subtle message of national identity. The material of the 10 centimo 1970 coin was brass, giving it a golden color that set it apart from other small denominations. It was small, lightweight, and practical for daily use, especially during a time when public transportation, street vendors, and small-scale trade flourished. Its diameter was around 17 millimeters, making it one of the smallest coins in circulation at the time. Many Filipinos remember carrying several of these coins in their pockets to buy candies, newspapers, or even a ride in a jeepney. But beyond its everyday utility, the coin had symbolic significance. By honoring Mabini, the government reinforced the idea that heroes of the past should guide the decisions of the present and the future. Collectors today value the 10 centimo 1970, not just for its monetary worth but for the historical context it represents. It tells the story of a nation, asserting its cultural identity through language and design. The 1970s also saw economic challenges, with inflation and rising costs. Coins like the 10 centimo gradually lost much of their purchasing power, yet they remained an essential part of the economy, because small change kept the circulation system alive. Over the years, these coins were used so frequently that many are now found in heavily worn conditions. Finding a 1970 10 centimo in uncirculated or mint